Hi, my name's Torrin and I'm the founder of High Level Selling. And thanks for joining me on this short video training where I'm going to talk to you about a key principle out of pillar number 1 of the High Level Selling blueprint called emotional state change selling. Now you're going to find that this has a huge impact and influence on your prospect's state of being, which helps them put into this zone of where they're more likely to be compliant and influenced with whatever your product or service will deliver them. So in this short video, I'm going to share my screen in a minute and show you a little diagram which helps bring this all together. But I want to get down to what is the science telling us about the human behavior that helps this process be so impactful in a selling process. So the humans have a 10-to-1 negative bias. So what that means is that there's a whole bunch of tension that gets created, particularly in a selling process, because this 10-to-1 bias is really there to protect us. Our nervous system way of being alert of dangers, and it's been going on for literally millions of years of evolution to help us survive and thrive. But the problem now in our modern society is that it shows up, and particularly in a sales situation where it creates a whole bunch of tension. So you as a salesperson, we need to overcome this, what I call the invisible barrier. And I'm going to show you that in the diagram at the moment. And I think about this yourself is that when you are in a positive emotional state, when you're thinking about buying a product or service, unless you're in that positive emotional state and feeling good about yourself and potentially the person that is helping you, it's very unlikely that you're going to push forward and say yes to that product or service. So what that happens means is you're stuck in this negative zone. So let me share my screen and I'll show what I mean here by showing you on this diagram. So on this diagram, which represents emotional state change selling, so this is shifting how your prospect feels. So there's two sides to this. So on the negative side, so you've got a negative emotional state on the left-hand side, what I call the negative zone. What this really represents to your prospect and how they're feeling is that they're unsafe, and therefore their nervous system is on alert, looking for danger. So what we want to do is shift them emotionally into the positive emotional state, what I call the positive zone. This represents them feeling safe. Now, safe is another word for trust. So we all know how powerful this force of trust is in building relationships with our clients so that they become more compliant and influenced with whatever our solution is to their problem. So what we want to be able to do is shift them from the negative emotional state into the positive emotional state throughout our sales process. Now, this represents a key pillar in number 1 key pillar of the high-level selling blueprint, which we share in our 4-week intensive program. So pillar number 2 is really about, let me just stop this share. Pillar number 2 is about what can we do to influence our prospect to go from that negative emotional state into that positive emotional state, which is where we want them to be to feel safe, build trust, and for them to become more compliant and influenced with whatever our solution is to their problem. So that represents pillar number 2 in the sales training. But I just hopefully today, by alerting you to this emotional state change selling process, is that to become aware that your prospect is most likely going to be in this negative emotional state. So you have to create some sort of process in your structure that shifts them into this positive emotional state, because if they're stuck there, it's very unlikely they're going to say yes to whatever is your offer to help them or to sell to them, whatever your product is, because the objections come when they are still feeling unsafe or in this negative emotional state. So I want to be able to go deeper and talk to you about how to recognize this in the first place, and then what are the 4 elements that we have in the program in pillar number 2 that can help shift them into that positive emotional state before you even get to your solution, so they're more likely to be receptive and influenced by whatever it is your product or service. So hopefully that was a good bit of information for you to start thinking about. Now, remember, high-level selling is where the art of selling meets the science of human behavior. Thanks for paying attention to this short video, and I look forward to meeting you at some point soon. Thanks.